Hello everybody, welcome back to Wappelville and welcome to Arnor. Yeah, what we're gonna do here is try and paint up. Let me see if I can finally get this to show up on my other screen here. Thank you very much. This is the new profile that Games Workshop just announced. Hey there, Armored Wolf. Sorry for the delay. It took a while to get this stuff ready. And let's see, I also have Arvidui on horse. Arvidui on foot. We have a banner and a spear. So we got some other things that I was trying to get ready. But we'll try and work on these two glazes. Hey there, Gigabyte. Nice to see ya. And I did decide if actually here I've got something that's a little bit bigger. So these are some AI generated images. I was just looking to try and find kind of a deep red. Actually, I like this idea here of the black. Hey there, Grey Wolf Studio. Nice to see you, and Ryan. So what I want to do is have the black basically tie all three Arnor factions together, Arthedain, Rudar, and Cardolan, and then we'll do just different colors. So this is going to be kind of a deep red and black, and then gold for Arthedain, and I was thinking maybe some kind of a deep blue for Cardolan, and then maybe just basic white and black for Rudar. We'll just kind of keep on going with our magical dry brushy stuff here, like we've been doing. Is this Van Dyke? Yeah, that's some of our Van Dyke Brown there. A little bit of this. That's Full-Time here. So, Grey Wolf, great to see ya. Let me see, and of course, again, Ryan, if you guys want to share some stuff in the chat, maybe wait a little bit until there's some more folks here, because reasons. Here, I'm just gonna, again, nothing super fancy about this, right? It's almost a bit like it's a Zenithal until something monstrous enters the building. That will be Monster Den Minis. Well, Gigabyte, I'm glad. Actually, Gigabyte, if you want to share anything in the chat, some of the stuff you've been doing with the oils. Well, Ryan, I guess you can share the stuff now, because you got there's some eyeballs that just arrived. Hey there, Warp Drive Dude, nice to see you. Hey, Night Whisper, laters, great to see you back too. Of course, Monster Den Minis, if you want to share anything in the chat. Same thing there, Night Whisper. You want to share some stuff in the chat, go right on ahead. So Monster Den, great to see you. And of course, thanks for the raid. What are we doing here? We're starting on, well, it's one of our new armies for Lord of the Rings. So this is the first miniatures for Arnor. Now, of course, people are more familiar with, say, King Arvidui. Here he is on foot right there. But yeah, and we got the banner bearer with the Arnor symbol right there. So everybody please check out the Instagram link that Ryan just shared. Argadir, nice to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us here. Appreciate that. Actually, Grey Wolf, there's some more. There's some more whatchamacallits. There's some more emotes to play with since the last time you were here. Yeah, there's definitely more emotes. So everybody check out the Discord link, right? Yeah, it's a Discord link from Monster Den, and the Instagram link there from Gigabyte. I'm going to try to go a wee bit lighter here. Sure. Let's just do this. It's almost like a Zenithal, but not a Zenithal, because we're going to be blending into this and doing the glazy stuff over the top. We got another sleepy orc over here. All of the orcs in Middle Earth are just very, very sleepy for some reason. Don't know why. So Night Whisper, glad that you're having some success there. And same thing, Gigabyte. Same thing. And of course, Grey Wolf Studios, if you want to share some of your I know you have a whole bunch well, you have a Kathy to share. Yes, you do. And you have some object source lighting if you want to share some of your object source light stuff there. I know you have that. So again, this is from the Printing Goes Ever On. We're just, again, doing this sort of lighter dry brushy stuff from here. From here, we go in with some glazy things. What do we want to hit here first with our glazy things? I think we're going to go with the red on the shield. Red on his jerkin, and then we'll do the gold armor. Maybe also on the horsey there. Okay. Where's that? Here it is. This is the one I'm looking for over here. How's about some of this, some of the asphaltum here, and then maybe also some of our Terrarosa? Maybe. We'll get those two working together. Yeah, so whenever whenever Gandalf mentions pipeweed, boom, out comes the one. I think he rolled 4 4s in a row last night because, well, he wisely did not mention any shireweed. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Let's get a little bit of this. A little more of this into the tail. So Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us here. Appreciate that. There's always a little Gandalf appearance to welcome in our newest hobbitses. Now you can see how that's mixing. See that? That didn't happen with with your Zenithal Prime stuff, right? It just sits over the top of that. Whereas here, should we choose, or like this, see how that's starting to, see how it's actually mixing together right there? Yeah, that's something that we've been experimenting with more and more of late. Also, too, oh yeah, that's right, the latest Patreon video went up earlier today. See, again, letting that mix with what is already there. Okay, that wasn't supposed to go on our rose, but that's okay. That's alright, and we'll just get maybe a little bit of that here. On our little orky friend there. Also maybe on this. We need some more of the horsey over here. I was thinking that was all armor, but I think actually it's part of our horsey there. Anything? Oh yeah, the ears. Let's not forget the ears. Okay, no hair there. So let's just do this. He's got it's either a war spear that counts as a lance, or it's just a lance. So essentially, Arnor has kind of the same cavalry that your regular Gondor has. I don't know what other, and we don't even know all the stuff about Argadir yet either. There's still some mystery. Is he going to have, what kind of heroic actions? Will he have any special ones? I know a lot of folks they're kind of, they don't really want him to have march because there, I guess, an awful lot of Arnor captains already have march. Because Arnor had, for those that didn't know, it always was an infantry army only, basically no horses. So everybody please check out the Zombicide. Was that Black Plague? Okay, so the Black Plague survivors there, again posted by Grey Wolf. And so Grey Wolf, again, thanks for joining us here. I know it's been a little busy, a little crazy for quite some time, so I know that makes it difficult for you, and I know this is a later start. So again, sorry about that. Mars Black. Ivory Black is a dead black. It's really weak and wimpy. This is very opaque, very strong, dries opaque. It even has some staining to it. So yeah, I think it's been a couple of years now since I last used ivory black. You'll definitely like Mars Black better, and that it's in all three of the brands. Williamsburg, Windsor, Newton, Gamlin, they all have a Mars Black. So that's also good news. Also good news. If you want to cool down the black wheel, you just, as always, we like to have indigo with it. And that really does, oh, that's actually a sword scabbard right there. Well, that's okay. We'll just let it get, we'll let the red go over the top of that for right now. And over here, so we can see, I can see a little bit of the gold, well, potential trim area there for our gold. Anything else there for red? Okay, just, we'll hit the roses here. Again, more of our pearline crimson. On the roses. Like so. Here. Where's the... Oh, okay. Ah, there they are. Now we still got to get our green on those leaves. It is ironic that I was actually pruning some of the rose bush stuff today. Maybe that's what gave me the idea for doing this. I don't know. Well, you know what, here, let me just... I'll just hit it with the red since I didn't do the other one. Grey Wolf, it's kind of weird, right? That the Mars Black is so similar in many ways to the black spin-out, but it's a fraction of the price. I'd still be using the black spin-out, but I think it's still at the house where I did the mural. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep rolling here with our fabulous Indian yellow slash asphaltum mix here. Let's get his little chapeau here. Oh, geez, the rest of the horsey's armor there. And then that's probably what we'll start messing with is the fur on the horsey. While all this other stuff sets. And you can tell, see that horsey's not glossy anymore? Not so glossy. Even some of the other areas are not as glossy as they were just minutes ago. Oh, by the way, 28 minutes ago, these guys had no paint on them. So less than half an hour ago, these were completely paint-free. So again, just throwing it out there. So let's get to our red here where well, okay, let's try some more of our pearline. There we go. There's some nifty pearline red, or pearline crimson, sorry. Sorry that you weren't able to get in any games there, Bithron. Well, Bithron, here's hoping that you can get in as much practice as possible for it was June 1st, right, Bithron, for your tournament there. Yeah, that I really hope you get a bunch of practice in for that. Sorry that you didn't get any games in there. Let me throw in a little bit more of our green there. So these are the figures that I was talking about on the stream last night. Oh, for let's see, for Cardolan, that blue I was going to do Indanthrun blue for that. So Indanthrun blue and then the black for Cardolan. And then again, maybe just a straight up black and white for Rudar with I think I was going to, oh yeah, that's right, black armor for them. Obviously, the Arthedain was going to be gold armor, and then we're just going to do regular steel armor for Cardolan. That's actually Grey Wolf. That was, I think, that was one of my favorite RPGs there, was Deadlands. That was definitely one of my favorite RPGs. Also, to remember, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of painting on this because, well, the base is all going to get covered with foliage and flock and all that kind of good stuff. Let me take a quick little look-see here. Yeah, so same thing, just like here, right? Didn't really bother painting the base very much because it was all going to be covered with snow like that. Get you back over there. Time for the horsey to get some color on him. Maybe not quite so much of that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's get a little bit of that Mars yellow deep going onto the horsey here. Yeah, Bithra, I know you're going to be playing other stuff. And sorry I didn't get a chance to do that. Here, let's do some more of our... Oh, Bithra, if you want to share some of the stuff that you've been painting lately in the chat there, sorry if I forgot to mention that. Kind of using this brush now. It was our glazing brush. Now it's like a micro filbert brush. Oh yeah, let's get some of that down here. Now I'm going to take maybe you here. Some Mars black, maybe some of the Van Dyke brown here. And now we'll start to get some of our darks here, but see how that's just going to blend. It just blends with all that existing color there. Very, very simple. Here, let's get that tail. Try to get as much dark on the tail as we can. There we go. Again, yeah, that was really, really fun to be. I think I did 5 different armies back in the day of Wild West Exodus before the game got purchased, and then, well, it wasn't Wild West Exodus anymore. So we just kind of kept all the stuff, and we said, well, if we're ever going to do it, we'll just kind of do our own thing with it. Nothing wrong with doing that. See if I can make this a little smidge lighter here. Don't want that to get too orangey. Might even back up this way just a touch. Yeah, okay, there we go. So Gigabyte, those were all done with the non-metallic metal. So yeah, no metallics on those. And obviously there was, we had a little bit of the rusty stuff going on because, well, it was sort of iron, right? So yeah, there was some rusty things happening also on those. Obviously with the oils you could do, well, a bit more of a pin line wash. Now we've been doing that on our vehicles workshop series. Now I don't think, well, there's a few, yeah, there's a few of the rivets on here. This is one of our vehicle workshop series right there, and that was all done with the oil paints. So thanks thanks Grey Wolf, appreciate that. Yeah, here, let's throw a bit more of that here. And again, you can see how that just is blending on the fly with all the colors that are already there. Look, you can see all that darker color on the end of the brush? Let's get some light on the horse's face here. It is interesting, all the different Middle-earth sculptors. The horses, I have to say, might be the more realistic and a little less stylized than others. Yeah, some of them, the horses, and sometimes they change too, as they quite literally learn more and more about the digital sculpting. Things maybe start to get a little bit more realistic here and there. And of course, this is the cavalry channel after all, so that's why I was extra happy to see that Arnor was going to have a cavalry component now. And okay, that's just his reins right there. So sorry about that there, bench guy. Now here's hoping that you kind of get better from that real fast. Hopefully it's not making it too hard to sleep and such. Boy, oh boy, this Pearline Crimson, this is a very nifty color here. I'm really liking this. Remember last night I said, I think it would be neat if our Arthidane was had a Pearline Crimson as kind of a main color. Hey there, Valfair. Nice to see ya. Well, Valfair, again, sorry that happened there, right? That is no fun at all to have to do that. So sorry that went boom in the first place, that you had to deal with all that stuff. Yeah, Valfair, I think he got lucky that there was no Dunlendings around at the time. Yeah, I think he got pretty lucky. So yeah, Horns fan, I think Monday's going to be well, it's actually, I was able to find some more varieties of brats on sale. Oh yeah, so recall, that's yeah, with so what you saw there was some of that was Polish sausage, some of it was Italian sausage, and then let's see, what was the other one too? It was that was the bratwurst. That's right. So yeah, and of course this is a cuisine channel. So let's it is a cuisine channel, so recipes and recommendations are always welcome. So yeah, I had a bunch of the old metal GW Candace stuff ready to go, because I need some basically infantry Candace stuff, mostly for dismounted horses or charioteers or something like that. I need something to represent that. And I was just about to do that, and then boom, this new profile just comes out of nowhere. And there's already been several podcasts about it and YouTube vids and such. And I'm hoping that maybe we can get this up on the YouTubes there. Or at least some parts of this session here. Working with some, that's the Mars Yellow Deep, again for some of the opacity. There is a little bit of the Indian Yellow in there too, to give it a little oomph, as we might say. Hey there, Lethal Shadows, nice to see ya. Everybody please give Lethal Shadows Gaming a follow. So Lethal Shadows, we were using the this one again as as a blending brush, a glazing brush, also as a micro filbert brush. So that is the paint size by Lethal Shadows Gaming. And of course, Lethal Shadows, if you want to share any links to the new airbrush, well, new airbrush and compressor set. It's kind of a set, really. And again, it is a rechargeable compressor, so a cordless compressor that you can just put in your hand. So definitely something you can kind of take with you wherever you go. I'll let Lethal Shadows do more of the description on that, because, well, who would know better than Lethal Shadows? Breaking down some of this, little bit of the Indian yellow into that. And the same thing we did on the infantry version. So we're just basically taking this, conveniently enough, I can only imagine that based on the, was it last month's release or from 2 months ago, when there was the reveal about the Arnor cavalry, that printing goes everyone didn't just do Arnor, but Arnor cavalry, which nobody else has done. So yet none of the other Lord of the Rings sculptors have done any Arnor cavalry, that's for sure. Well, that's fantastic, Night Whisper. Again, Night Whisper, I know you maybe don't have anything totally new or something like that, but for maybe folks in the chat, it could be all brand new for them. So if you did want to share that, that's okay. Oh, that sounds really good there, Valfera. So yeah, Valfera, I got some more of the sausages today because they were on sale at the store. I'm kind of letting the all of the branches that I freshly chopped off the tree, letting those have a chance to dry out, so that maybe sometime next week we can employ those in the barbecue grill. So everybody please check out that Instagram link that Night Whisper just shared. So there's a little bit of armor on the horse here. Not a ton. I'm going to try and start catching some lights here. Oh, and by the way, both of these figures 1 hour 16 minutes ago had Zippo as far as paint. That would be none, nada, zero, zilch. No paint at all. Valfera, there was the pieces were 5 gigantic pieces. Yeah, there was no little pieces. I think if you might have sent you some of the pictures of it last year when they were doing it. So they basically took off a giant chunk. They lifted it up with the crane up over the garage into the alley and then straight into the wood chipper. So yeah, there was actually no pieces to keep, because the whole thing was gone in about less than an hour. Yeah, and I think it was a total of 5 pieces. We're talking about like a 40-foot tall tree that was completely removed, and the last piece was all the way down basically to the stump. So, and that was about the last 15, 18 feet of it or so. So Valfera, each chunk was the size of a small tree. So yeah, maybe I'll try and find some of the old pictures or whatever to send to you. But yeah, the pictures are the chunks were very, very gigantic. That's for sure. And then it literally went right into the chipper and it was gone. However, I am hoping to to get some pieces of wood and then basically build a platform on top of where the stump is and use that as a grilling area, because reasons. Do I want... okay, we can go a little lighter here. Let me get some more of that fast matte white over here. And we'll start to break that down again to, wow, that is much lighter. There we go. So yeah, I think you've seen, maybe I was sending you some pictures of what I was trying to do to bring the backyard back again. And you can see the stump there. That's still sitting there. No point in paying an extra $1,200 or something to have a stump removed when it's just a backyard, and I can actually use it essentially as a nice, very solid base for a platform, instead of having to get concrete, right, and a post hole digger and try and bury support posts. I'll just build it off of that thing. Hey there, Green Fairy Studios. I know it's a complete shock. A complete shock that the Cavalry channel has horsies. So this is the new profile that was announced just a couple of days ago. This is Argadir, and we're taking this printing goes ever on figure, and we're doing the Cavalry and foot-mounted version, and of course we're basically creating a color scheme on the fly. It's a color scheme on the fly here. So, oh, and we used a little quick AI here to generate just a few quickie little references there. So obviously you've got Arvadoui, the king there, and then you have Malbeth the seer behind him. So yeah, the Arnor army is going to change very dramatically, and obviously we also think there's going to be some Angmar releases too, because clearly, as I've said for how long? Since forever, that the next source book was going to be The Ruin of Arnor. I've only been saying that for months and months and months, probably longer than that. So the references that I used for the elves, right? It was the same thing. To figure out this color scheme and do we do the snow bases or not, that was all done the same way, and that worked out very, very well. Let me get a little bit more of my light here. And that's something that was actually part of a tutorial video. We've done a couple of tutorial vids for folks that say, boy, I just cannot come up with the color scheme for my army. I don't know if this would look right or this would look right. And that is a very, very nice way, instead of struggling to try and just, well, paint miniatures and go, wow, that doesn't look right, I don't like that. We need to get some skin tone on that. Here, let me back up here to some of our radiant blue. Oh, we need some Prussian blue out on the palette. We'll get that going over here. Right here. And then we'll mix that up, and I think, oh, his sword. Yeah, we'll get this and his sword. So Night Whisper, definitely the Mars Black. Definitely the Mars Black. So yeah, don't fool around with Ivory Black. It's, if you have 5 cents in Ivory Black, you have 5 cents. So just definitely get that, because I haven't tried yet. I have Mars Black from all three. I haven't tried the Mars Black from let's see, Windsor Newton yet. I've tried the Mars Black from Gamlin and also from Williamsburg. And again, those are all very reasonably priced because it's based on iron oxide. I believe, was it Yinmin Blue? Remember Yinmin Blue? Yeah, I do believe is this what, a 17 mil tube or something like that would cost you over $100? But obviously that's not something we would really need for miniature painting. There's plenty of other things that are adequate for that. And there are certain colors, like cerulean blue. I loved it as a watercolor. It's one of my favorite watercolors. And maybe even as an oil paint on a regular painting, it could be fine. But on miniatures, it was just not helpful, because it has that kind of grainy sedimentation to it, which again I loved in watercolors, not so much with the miniature painting. So again, there are colors that are just fine and nifty as for 2D stuff, but not necessarily going to work for miniatures. Now we'll get some more of our lightest light going up here. Also a little bit of that here. We're gonna have to get some of our green shades in there. Also some of our orangey stuff here in our golds. We haven't done that yet. Look at maybe a little reflected light there. Also there. Geez, we have none over there. Oh yeah, we can get to the lighter stuff on our house. Yes, we can. We can do that now. That is some precision brushwork right there. Look at that. Hashtag no layers. Where'd my blending brush go? You're around here somewheres. Did we use you? No, we used this one over here, right? No, I'm gonna, okay. I think we can use that one. I'm gonna go with this one. Let that all get blended together. So instead of a bunch of layers, we just hit it once, and then use the blending brush after that. We need to get some more lights here. Shoulder, jaw, face, neck, ears. Might also come back with some darker stuff too. Thanks for posting at the Patreon. Yeah, it's a link to the Patreon page. We just did post the latest video today to the Patreon page. That was another video we were testing out. Some new stuff. That was the stuff that was given to me as prize support at Little Wars. Blending brush again. A little bit of tap, tap, tap there. Blend that together over here. Yeah, Night Whisper. Let me get a little bit more of the Mars yellow deep in that too. And that's again the really spectacular thing with the oil paints is that I don't have to grind away, right? Layer after layer after layer. I can just kind of toss the paint up on there and then start pushing it around. Because we've been, what, 1 hour 39 minutes on this? And also this. So 1 hour and 39 minutes ago, those two look just like this guy. Just like the 5 miniatures we painted last night in, what, 4 hours, 55 minutes? 4 hours, 55 minutes, 2 miniatures with object source lighting, the 2 hobbitses, and of course the Crabanes, which was 3 Crabanes and the casualty and a shield. All of that done in basically 4 hours, 55 minutes. That would be the power of the oil paints right there. And you will hear me say in that video, with obviously there's some fun things that I was able to do with those, but it just was made clear over and over again that, well, you can't, wouldn't be able to pull those off on multiple figures at the same time, like we were certainly doing last night on the stream, even here, right? We certainly have multiple figures we're working on here. And of course, it's probably been a good half an hour at least since we last did anything on the horsey, and we're able to blend on that just as easy, if not maybe even easier than, oh, good half an hour, 40 minutes ago. So yeah, AD, there was, let's see, here's our 2 source lighting guys here. So we did these 2 Dunlendings here. Then there was a couple of hobbitses. So another Bilbo Stabbins and another Bilbo Bananigans there. And then this was the Crebane. So again, in 4 hours, 55 minutes for all those. So yes, you don't want to blink. So says the angel. Oh, AD, there's some more emotes to play with too. Like, could you please watch where you're pointing that thing? Because Genius over here didn't sculpt me with any eyelids. So yeah, no eye protection for me. It's like, sorry there, lady, but I'm kind of busy here. It's like, that's... So the sleeping orc has eyelids. Me, not so much. That's, again, gotta feel sorry for the weeping angel there. Now, let me see if we can start to do also some lighter stuff on Mr. Orky here with his armor. Then we'll do some rusty stuff with, oh, yeah, Terra Rosa. Skin color, rust color extraordinaire, does everything. Once again, with the precision brushwork here. Now, get ourselves a micro blending brush somewhere. Yeah, we'll use this thing here. We will push that stuff around like you do. Again, hashtag no layers. Why would I bother with layers? Get some of this lighter stuff over here on these armor pieces. Oh yeah, that's right. The first time I think I used this casualty was on the Faramir diorama. Yeah. Get some more of that on this part of his armor there. Not a little too much there, so blending brush to take some of it away. Thanks Bithrod, for doing that clip. Appreciate that. Great to see you again there, Fido. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Fido, we got a lot done in the stream last night, didn't we? So, Fido, I hope that your Saturday was super fabulous. Anything? Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll wait on that. See if we can now go a smidge lighter here. It's gonna just start to break out some of that fast matte white here again. Let's get some of our light in here. Also there. Well, Fido, that's well, of course, I don't know if you probably didn't see the pictures of the mural that I painted, and the in that nursery, which apparently that's not the nursery anymore. I guess that has now been claimed. The nursery has been moved to another room, I guess. It's a much smaller room, but I guess that is now supposed to be officially a room for playing games, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. I have not been there in, well, since the one time, it was in December or something like that, when I was there to, no, I was in January, no, February, that's right, to see if the glow-in-the-dark stuff on the west gate actually glowed in the dark. Which it did, but I had to kind of charge it up by hitting it with the light first, which was a little bit dicey because I didn't realize they had their shades open. So I turned off every light down on the ground floor there. And I'm sitting there waving this really powerful flashlight on it to try and charge up the glow-in-the-dark paints. So from the neighbor's perspective, it must have looked an awful lot like somebody marauding through the ground floor of the house with a flashlight. No police showed up, so I guess I was okay. When I looked over and I saw that the shades were all wide open, I thought, well, that is not good. That's not super helpful there. I'm going to let some of that Mars Yellow Deep mix with the Radiant Green for our little sleepy orc over here. Just trying to work some lighter stuff in here. We'll probably do some darker glaze things over some of these little bits and pieces here too. Time for some Rustola action here. Asphaltum, Terra Rosa. Thin that down. More of the thinner here, and then just have at it. There we go, and where it goes, it just goes. That's how it goes. More of that down here. More over there too. Yeah, so that kind of adding a little bit of rust to the orc here. A bit right there. Okay, and then we'll let that set. I'll give that a chance to set too. Hey there, Zach. Well, it's 7 minutes to a happy Sunday. So I hope that you're doing well there, Zach. Let me check something here real quick. I'm just gonna move these guys here. 1 second. Let me see something here. There we go. Okay. So 1 second. Well, I just have to send a message here. So I just unfortunately have to send some messages because that's about tomorrow. Let me get maybe the asphaltum and this. Okay, let's try these two together here. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. We'll roll with this. I might even try using this here. So a little bit of the green into that. So again, to try and make that kind of as muddy, as dingy of a color as possible. Now here on the reins here, we're going to go darker than that. Also going to get a little bit of violet in there, yeah. Van Dyke brown, Van Dyke violet, there you go. So Van Dyke brown and some violet. Because we have a whole bunch of light stuff here. So I think I want these reins to be a little darker. Probably going to make the lighter stuff on these, the reins and bridle, be well, more with the green, yeah. Let's get this going over here, same thing. Also there. Ah, that's fantastic. Oh, and of course, Zach, if you want to share, all your Reprecon stuff there, the classes and everything. Sorry about that. Now here we were talking about, remember, getting some darks in there. Also see how it kind of sets some nice little edges. And then here, for the metals, right? All of a sudden now we've got more reflected light there. It's a lot like that Galadrim Cav, same principle there. You need to have those darks. Get some eyes there on the horsey. Whoops, that's not quite where that should go. So we'll take our blending brush and basically just kind of erase that. I mean, we got to come back in there with our light stuff anyways, so no super big deal. There's our dark again, and now here, just like we did on the other side. See, that's again, with the metals, you can't just have a whole bunch of middle tones and some highlights. You've got to have some darks in there too. And that's generally what people lack when they're trying to do their non-metallic metals. First thing is there's never any reflections, and without reflections it will never look like metal. You can do all you want. You can have all the the metal painting sets, right? The non-metallic painting sets, which really are not going to be terribly helpful because, well, if you have a guy in shiny armor and he's standing in a field of grass versus, well, I don't know, moonlight scene with torchlight, yeah, that non-metallic metal set will do you zero good because it's not going to help you with your reflections or your highlights or, well, anything. That would be where the regular colors you already have will do the job quite nicely. Never did get the darker stuff up here. So everybody please check out those events there that Zach just shared. So again, Zach, I'm sure everything is going to go really, really well there. Folks are going to love those. We were talking about some more darks on the horsey. We will get to that. But right now, kind of focusing in on the armor, on the horse, and on him, starting to really get in some of the that reflected light by virtue of having the stronger shadows and such there. Gonna darken this down just that way. Let's be quick about it. Let's not fool around. So here we can, I can see some of the darks got onto the horse. No big deal. I'm actually going to take some of that. Remember we were talking about getting a little more dark on the horse there. I'm going to take that now. Let's use this bigger blending brush. Like so. Might even throw a little more dark on the tail there. Oh yeah, it's dark on the spear here. So on that side. And we still have our lightest light that we could do there also. So just like the intro says, this is the new profile here. Obviously, it's a stand-in because it's a printing goes ever on figure. So remember the Arnor stuff that I was telling you about in the last couple of streams that I was really excited for from the printing goes ever on? Now this is basically just a captain figure, and this is just a generic cavalry figure from the not Arnor range of the printing goes ever on. But this is what I was so excited about the last few days, that I was really hoping that I could I just tried to prep a bunch of these as fast as I could. I mean, I just then here's a King Arvidui on horse. He also has a Malbeth the Seer, and then here's another Arvidui right there. So yeah, basically Grand Oracle, I also did a quick little thing again with just to see, okay, basically it came up with the red and black. I only was saying red and like a deep red and gold, and actually came up with the black. So the black is going to be the tie-in between all three. So yeah, that's what's going to unify the three. So Arthadane is going to be black, and Perline Crimson is the red. So that's what you're seeing here is Perline Crimson. So yeah, Perline Crimson, that is our sort of de facto red here. And then the black, and then we're for Cardolan, it's going to be Indanthryn blue and, well, black, but with silver armor instead of the gold. And then for Rudar, I was going to have basically kind of black and white. So essentially black armor, maybe white cloaks or something. Obviously the kind of the taint of the Witch King having a bit of an effect on Rudar there. This is that Mars Black, actually, that we're using here. We're mixing that with some of our initial dry brushy stuff. So here the leather is actually kind of more of a grayish color here. Might mix some of the Perline Black into that to kind of create a grayish green effect. I think I'm going to go maybe with some gloves on him instead of skin. Yeah, let's go with some gloves on him. So again, try to give him some black here. So yeah, Grand Oracle, that has really been super handy for generating those color schemes, let me tell you. Because the black, right, that was not really part of my thought process. I wanted the red and the gold. And the first stuff that it showed me, well, the first stuff it showed me was Space Marines. I had to change the parameters a bit. There again, so some of that cooler gray now on the horsey here. Also on his snoot too, I think. So they released that profile, was it Wednesday, I think? It's basically a captain of Arnor, and he's a cavalry specialist, which is significant because since the very beginning, going back to, well, 25 years ago, Arnor never had cavalry of any kind. So that is a big change. I mean, it would sort of be that all of a sudden Eldar are wearing Space Marine armor. It's kind of that level of wow. Anything else here? Sure. One sec, let me just take a quick mission. 1 second here. Okay, there. Just sent those. Oh, and by the way, 2 hours ago, these two guys had no paint on them at all. None whatsoever. Let me here get some of this. Also here. I'm going to try and maybe take some of the not radiant indigo here on the leather stuff here. Now, thanks to the, oh yeah, that's the GoFundMe campaign. We appreciate everybody that has contributed to that, and we just had another contribution this week, so that is much appreciated. Oh, the Velfira, hopefully I won't be around tomorrow, so hopefully that won't show up tomorrow. I kind of put a pause on the implements that I had for doing the barbecue stuff, just to make sure I wasn't repeating anything. Alright, yeah, I get a little bit of the light there and some there. I do want to try and get, again, some of the perline black in there, because that'll just look like a different form of gray. That's it. Won't look like green. It'll just look like a different type of gray. I have to say the printing goes ever on tails are definitely much more flourishy and longer than, say, the Diwali tails on the horsies. So you can kind of see the different now starting to generate in the shields here. Seal it, that must be going off to get yourself a snack there, Bithron. I'm going to want all the way over here to the radiant blue. I'm going to start breaking that down a little. And I'm going to use that. Few areas over here. Like so. Some of that here. And that's trying to use the basically this the burnt sienna / colors in the horse to make this saddle stand out a bit more, because those are very warm colors versus these cooler, dingier colors here. Blending brush, we don't want that to get too light too quickly there. Something there. Let's do this. So it seems like that Bellinok thing printed out. There's gonna be a little something that I think I'm gonna have to sculpt, ironically enough, on the horse's face. I haven't taken it actually off of the printer yet. Didn't even have time to do that today. But that will be most likely part of at least a 3-part probably series on the Patreon page. Do a little something here. Gonna get a little bit more of this again. That's a lighter, sort of a bluish gray here. need to, yeah, let's see if we can just create some whooshoe for him there. Like so. There's nothing sculpted there. We're just gonna paint that in. Still working with the radiant blue here. Just get the nose on the other side. And maybe even some of that on the gold area there. Let me just take some of the Mars Black, the Van Dyke Brown. Because I think, yeah, there's some edges here. Okay, there you go. I was wondering, so we did it on the armor, just didn't quite do it here yet on the leather stuff here. Ooh, we need some of that under the armor there. Also the ear. Did we ever get... oh, we did get the darker stuff there. Okay. Now we have a bunch of the rivets there. Any rivets here, but let me move that out of the way. We still have to do a little connect the dots here. Like so. You know what we didn't do yet? We didn't get any skin tones on him. Not too much to worry about anyways, because he's got the beard and such. We'll just try to get a little something here. Probably come back with maybe a touch of green and some of the shadow areas on the skin too, like we did with our little hobbitses. Right, where we came back into the shadows and some of the skin tone. Well, this also had some of the perline red in it too. That again is a really deep, rich color that also dries very matte. Geez, Artemico, well, I know those inks that I was playing around with. Now, the more glazy I used them, actually, the longer it took for those to dry. But that is a weird situation, right, Artemico? Of course, Artemico, if you want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead, do that. More, yeah, let's get, we wanted to get some dark on his feet there too. Gonna darken this a little. Take our blending brush to it. Let all that get mixed together like so. Let it go into the surrounding areas. There, so it kind of also changes that. It's a little bit less of a warm there too. So you can, we're going to try and do a little bit more of our lighter red in the shield here too. In a sec, but first let me get this. Here it is. This is our lighter gray, because I never did these things. Also his belt there. Try and get a little bit lighter stuff on his. We're just gonna say that's his pants there. So a little bit of that here. maybe a touch of that gray up on the golds as well. So also the casualty is also from printing goes ever on, because I know all of those Rohan casualties were mostly from but Medbury, yeah, from Medbury. Let me see if I can chuck a little bit more of that. Again, that's that lighter bluish gray. That's not white. That is a light bluish gray. So it's another way to be able to sort of add a little bit of light in there, but also kind of keep it subdued, because you have all these warmer colors. Actually, probably the most intense color on here would be the horse's fur. If you're looking for the most saturated, it would probably be the horsey's fur. Let me see if I can't get a little something there. And then on the hoof here to lighten that. Okay, yeah. And then here. Yeah, his fingers, gonna maybe give him some, I don't know, maybe some black gloves or something. Over here. Yeah, let's get something lighter there too. None of this is straight up white. It's just really light gray colors. We gotta get ourselves something lighter on the leaves. Maybe here, let me get a little bit of that. Some of the fast matte. Yeah, well, that's actually that's a pretty warm green. We're going to use this for the leaves on the roses here. Let's get these. That should make those stand out a little bit more. They were starting to kind of blend in with the ground there. That wasn't supposed to go there. Not sure why that got up there. We're going to be doing that again with some of our magenta stuff anyways, so I'm not super worried about that. Again, trying to get some of my lighter green here, and if I need to do any kind of blending on that, I'll just take the blending brush to it instead of, again, a whole bunch of layers here. So we've got ourselves this that we can use. Hashtag no layers, right? I need to print out almost like an entire bill plate of these roses, so I think I know what will be happening with the printers is printing more roses for our Arnor, so at least our Arthidine stuff will get the flowers. Because I do believe that Arthidine was located much closer to the Shire than everything else. Was it now Weathertop? That was basically the junction point between all three kingdoms, because that's why Ammon Sul was there, so that you could see everything, all three of the kingdoms there. Wow, that's a very intense green. It's been a while since I've gotten that much of the Hansa Yellow Medium. So I thought it was light. At first I thought it was Hansa Yellow Deep, then I thought it was Hansa Yellow Light. Turns out it's Hansa Yellow Medium. which I think I found that out during the stream yesterday. Okay, I'm just letting that work it through. Yeah, okay, there we go. So that you can really see that now. So you can see where we were just a few minutes ago. I'll lighten this up too. Like so. Also over here. Okay. I'm going to try and sneak that brush all the way down in there. Just to get a little something on the back of those leaves. A little more over here. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, recoil was just, I always get a little bit nervous. I was like, uh-oh, hopefully no shenanigans. Hopefully only the kind of shenanigans that Bilbo Bananigans might generate. Because he is, of course, a very tricksy little hobbit. Taking some of that and just getting that. There we go. Now, let's see if we can really start to hit some lighter lights here. Now, Moonlight Minis, I thought you might be fascinated by. So I think you saw some of these, right? Where this was the green stuff World Inks, and then this was the crazy acrylic urethane paints. I just thought, you know, your watercolor sensibilities might get tinged by that just a bit. So I knew I had to show you that. And actually, that was the latest, two latest of the latest Patreon videos. Was testing the green stuff World inks, and then actually I have a bunch of the Liquitex inks. Yeah, those just showed up today. That's right. Yes, the Liquitex ink just showed up earlier today. Completely forgot about it. It's been a busy day. It's been very busy today. So yeah, it's made by Createx, and well, you can see it. The video is on the it's on the Patreon page, so you can see that. I had no idea what to expect. That was the stuff that was given to me as prize support at Little Wars. So yeah, the painting contest there, I ended up with 3 sets of it. So yeah, Night Whisper, and of course we keep learning new stuff all the time. Seriously, Night Whisper, every time I use them, there's always some kind of new, different thing. I said, well, okay, that's different. So yeah, if you end up same thing, if you say, wow, you know, okay, I didn't really, that's something new. Well, that we find out new stuff here all the time. So yeah, Valhalla Painting, it's great to see you here. And of course, again, if you want to share anything in the chat, please go on ahead, do that. Of course, we always refer to this as the Cavalry channel. We do enjoy our Cav for sure. Where's the and of course sometimes it's Song of Ice and Fire Cav like that. Those are also painted on our stream. Oh, where's some of our Candish stuff? There we go. So yeah, that's we have an entire Candish army with horses, chariots, the whole thing. Let me get back to that scene there. Now this is actually the same color I was using on his skin tones up here, which we're also kind of applying to our horsey over here for some of our lightest lights there. And again, just a few hours ago, horse and rider and that other figure that you saw, those had no paint on them at all. Now, see, we're just going to slap that on there. We're going to take ourselves our blending brush here. We shall take that and we're just going to move that right around. Do the same over here. This knee over here. Some of the lighter stuff there too. Let that blend, right? Because it's the whole point of the oil paints. So what's the morning coffee for Valhalla painting? And again, Valhalla, if there's anything that you wanted to share in the chat, and of course, let folks know when you might be streaming again. And of course, everybody, please give Valhalla Painting a follow. We want all of us as Twitch stream, we all have to support each other here, right? Oh, look, we're actually going to throw some green on that. Blending brush here. See how that kind of blends with the brown, and now it really forms more of a gray. It's not so much a green, it is more of a gray. It's the same green that we were just using right here on the plants, which were also 3D printed. Those are from Make It Epic Basing. So yeah, we really love the Make It Epic stuff. We really rely on that. Now here we want to get some of the green and the golds. Some of the green is going to go in here now. That same green from the plant is going to go over here. Because if a color goes somewhere, it must go everywhere, right? It must go everywhere. And that's what's going to happen here. Also there, because that green is going to contrast with the red much more than any yellow is going to. Let me see if I can't throw a couple of little lights up here on the armor. Oh yeah, definitely need some here. Some up there. Again, a little bit more maybe on his shoulder here. Also on the helmet up there. Make those grays a bit lighter. Yep. Dark Horse, we are, how many, let's see, so from Calgary to here, that's got to be, what would you say, Bithron, maybe 1,200 miles-ish or so? So yeah, unfortunately, Dark Horse, we are a wee bit too far away from each other. Now again, if somebody ever makes that TARDIS thing, somebody makes one of those TARDISes, that changes everything. That means I'm going to Australia to participate in every single Lord of the Rings tournament. So somebody just has to get cracking on that TARDIS thing. That's all we need. So whoever's hiding that TARDIS technology, just let us here at the Linseed Brotherhood use some of that TARDIS technology. Let me get some of this over here. Yeah, Doji again. Now see, we can TARDIS on over there. See, with the TARDIS there, Doji, we could create ME-SPG communities all across the world. Yes, we could create ME-SPG community all across the world. Yeah, surface tension, sadly, no more police boxes, right? That kind of went away a while ago. Oh, here, let me get a little bit of light on that. Now, actually, I don't want to. I'm not trying to be a Weisenheimer here, but is there any thin surface tension that kind of piques your interest as far as, well, I mean, I know you have the Shmoom Kings and the Cornish hens and stuff, but is there something where you're kind of thinking, you know what, maybe this could be yet another army in the future, not anything right away? But is there anything that's kind of starting to appeal to you, or maybe other couple of things where you say, maybe in the future, one of these days, maybe we need to try this as yet another army? So okay, it's 1,600 miles apart. Thank you so much, Meth Muffins. So, Meth Muffin, I hope that you're doing well. Happy Sunday. So, Meth, I'm really glad that the oils maybe are, well, hopefully being really helpful, too. You know, obviously you want them to be really fun, but hopefully they're being very helpful. Oh, that'll be fantastic, there's surface tension. Yeah, I know, obviously, works a little bit wild and out of control right now, and not leaving you quite as much time as you would like to do the painting. But hopefully that just kind of starts to calm down a bit. Actually, well, Doji, I'm sure there's a certain elf. There's a certain elf that could swim that no problem, right, Doji? Yeah. Just jump out of that boat and swim the rest of the way. That should be no problem at all. Oh, that's right. I know it took you were searched far and wide for all the right elements for that. So yeah, I definitely want to get that one done. Actually, Meth Muffin, if there's some of the stuff that you've been doing with the oils that you want to share or anything like that in the chat, please go ahead and do that. Sorry, I meant to spit that out a little while ago. Kind of was spacing on that. No, that's got too much of the yellow in it. Let's go more towards the red. Okay, let's try that. You know what? I'm going to use this as a blending brush here. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, that's good. That's good surface tension. Now we're going to take this again as a blending brush, like we do here. Like so. Chuck in a little bit of our light here, some of it there. A little there, and a touch more up here. Can't let that blend in. Maybe even create a smidge of fur texture there. I think we're going to try and lighten up his neck a little bit more. Let's get a little more light on his knee right here. Like that. We need something here on his snoot. A little something more there. Might even try to lighten up that bride a little bit more. Let's see how that works. Some there. Now we need to hit this edge again. Remember we said we were going to... there we go. Now that we got the dark there, boy, that really makes a difference. But Moonlight Minis, after fooling around with those acrylics, right, again, that were either sent to me or handed to me, whatever, I kept trying to do the usual oil paint things with them, and of course, it wasn't going to let me do that. It is one surefire way of reminding you what you have, right, with the oils and all the kind of different aspects that you can do for saving time and everything else. And boy, when those are taken away from you, boy, you really notice it. So see you later there, Doji. Hope the rest of your Sunday is fantastical there. Now, it is possible that maybe next Saturday I won't be able to do the stream here, so we would have to do a substitute Saturday, possibly on Sunday. Hopefully we'll just get to do our normal Monday stream, which would probably be some more of our Arnor guys, because now I have some of those prepped. We would probably paint King Arvidui on foot and mounted. That's probably our Monday target there. Let me see if I can get the top of his helmet. Sure enough, there we go. See if we can lighten up this stuff. We never did get to this, and maybe we try to put that same freehand, maybe not so much on here, but maybe on its back, so we can maybe try and take that and put that over here. Let's break this stuff down. And of course, again, everybody please check out Moonlight Minis, some super fabulous sculpts. Just as I was painting the eyes on this, so the fabulous thing on Moonlight Minis, if you really want to get in and do some fun stuff with the eyes, Moonlight Minis would be great for that. So yeah, if you want to have some super expressive eye where you can really get in and do a lot of details on the eyes, that's Moonlight Minis would be the ideal thing for you. And you can do a lot of stuff to make the faces expressive, because that's something we always talk about here, right? You want to give the face some kind of expression, not some kind of just well, they're just staring straight ahead. You don't want that. And Moonlight Minis makes that task a whole lot easier, because the faces already have expression on them. Actually, Meth Muffin, oh well, we have a whole bunch of them. So this is the latest, one of the latest army painting series with the, oh look at, there's Interference Violet, Interference Green, Interference Blue. Also, we use the Iridescent Pearl White. I think we might have even used a little bit of the Interference Red too. So yeah, check out this series, because we pretty much use all the interference colors there. Yeah. So Sarge, please check out the link that Sarge posted. These are some really sensational grass mats. And what are they, Sarge? About maybe, are they maybe something like 7 by 10? I don't know, maybe 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11, Sarge? So yeah, that would be the army painting series on the Tyranids, and that should have pretty much all the interference colors in it. Now let's get our little central star in there too. of course, we'll be coming back into this to make some of that freehand a little bit lighter up there. But there you go. We just took this and stuck it over there. How hard was that, right? That was pretty darn simple. Hey, oh hey, MToys, how you doing? Great to see you. MToys, if there's anything you want to share in the chat, please go ahead. So yeah, those are, I guess you would say your class, well, some of the newer NIDs, right, right, Armored Wolf? I mean, not like brand spanking new, but yeah, those are the GW plastic NIDs there. Going to get me some of the, a bit more of that right there. Got to separate that a little there. Then we got to get more of the gold on the end of this. Well, the lighter gold anyways. So yeah, those are the somewhat newer NIDs there. And again, thanks to Armored Wolf for getting those prepped here. Made it a whole lot easier. Go and get me some of that light right there. A little bit more along the edge of this. Also here. So Meth, I have some of the older Skaven here, plus, was it Archvillain? Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Archvillain files that I can print out. I actually have a couple of, Abominations. That actually, one of them at least is all prepped. But actually, and then there's the Forge World one. Yeah, there's the Forge World Skaven Abomination that has the rider on it. Not sure what that one was, but that was something I was thinking of doing as a multi-part series. So I just gotta. I might even have multiple. What would you say, releases of the Archvillain Skaven stuff? Here, let's do blending brush over here. And this way too. A little bit more light right there. Back to Mr. Blending Brush here. Well, MTO is once you once you empty out a box, right? You got to get more boxes because you use the boxes as furniture. Yes, you can use those empty miniature boxes as furniture, so it makes sense. It's a bargain. It's a whole lot cheaper to have miniature box furniture than it is to have furniture. Of course, if you're getting GW stuff, that's all you'll have. You won't have any other furniture, so might as well get used to miniature box furniture. Let me get some of the light here, there, a little bit more here. Also there. So again, we want, let's get some of that lighter gray over here on his leg. And let's get continue some of the light here on that hoof there. So again, this is from the Printing Goes Ever On, and here's again basically we're calling that the foot version. Okay, and we'll see. Let me try the dark part of the eyes again. Oh, maybe we'll stick with the indigo here. We're going to thin that down, of course. We'll thin that down. We'll Gonna have his, there we go. Now he's looking down sort of at our hapless little orc over here. So maybe some more of the black on the saddle. So again, yeah, tell us if there's anything that you wanted to share. There's stuff that you've been working on. Please go ahead and do that. I try and take some of this here, some of this lighter stuff. Another little cut mark over there, just reasons. Maybe one up there. That's the some of our pearline crimson, a little bit of the white there. Possibly play with some of that up here too. Maybe a tiny touch up there. Ah, yeah, we'll get a couple little lights on this here too. Like you do, there we are. So again, that's a little bit of our, a little bit of the pearline crimson on the top of this armor here. We've gotten some of the dark stuff in there. Let me see if I could really hit that light edge on there. And of course we have some rivets down here, some teensy tiny little rivets. Oh, also there's the top of that armor here that really never got hit. Some of it over there too. No, that is not where we want that to go. Get a little bit of our yellow color on there. We'll take our blending brush to that. And now we'll have to come back with our dark to hit this line too. Like so. Back to this bit of our yellow here, just to get on that. Reflected light, blending brush. There. Ooh, you know what? We need to get some of the horses. God, yeah, I'm just gonna have to break some of that down again, and there. I was thinking that was part of the armor. That's not. We also have to get that. That's part of the horse's neck too. That starts to make a little bit more sense. We're gonna lighten that up too. Blending brush there. Also, we'll try to lighten up that. This part of the range here. Let me just move that out of the way. And there. Okay. And let's keep going with some of this light here. on the face if we can manage it. Also need to get a little light on the armor in there, just a little something. Also trying not to, we don't want to snap him off of the base here. More of this lightest light here. On a couple of these edges. You know what? I'm gonna have to get some of that on his. Oh yeah, on the top of him here, but I need some lighter light on the ears. And then here as well. Because yeah, that's just his fur there. There's not any armor plate there. I thought for a second maybe there was. Oh, I see what it is. He never he never finished this. That's what it is. That's actually a missing. It's not a misprint. It's just that never got sculpted. That's why I was like, why are these two sides so different? Because that never got sculpted there. Oh geez, third. Yeah, I was hoping that fits the way it does. Yeah, those pistol ports. That was kind of the only way to keep mischief and mayhem away, getting up close and personal. Like those crazy fins, right, Bithron? Sticking the log in the treads, and then the Molotov cocktail on the back on the back deck there. Now I'm going to try and hit again a little bit of that grayish green here, blending brush. Yeah, Sarge, I'm just it's I haven't really. I've seen the 1/35th scale stuff, right, lots of times, but I've never actually worked with it myself. It's always been like the 1/48 scale. So I'm just trying to visualize that compared to, well, typical bolt action scale. I mean, it's not quite as maybe not quite as dramatic as, say, bolt action versus Flames of War scale, but there's a difference. I'm just trying to darken that up a little. And now here I'm going to try to use some of my green here. For the reflected light here. And there's supposed to be a bunch of straps there, probably. Let me see if I can try and simulate something here with the dark. Okay, now maybe a bit more with the light, perhaps. And that, let's see, no Zimmerit, right, Sarge? Because I don't know if Zimmerit was really theater specific or just era specific. And I wonder if they kind of just gave up on the Zimmerit at a certain point. Let me see, I'm trying to get a little bit of the orange in there. Also up here. Maybe some of that here too. He's, no, I'm not going to do any lighter rust stuff. There was tempted to, but I don't think we will. On our little resting orc here. He does actually have some teeth here. I might actually try to make those. Stand out here. Let me get a little bit of the. No. Let's do this first. Like this. Also over here. Some of the asphaltum and our green together, maybe. Perline black, asphaltum. Like this. I'll catch you later there, Night Whisper. Have yourself a good one. And thanks again, Night Whisper. I'm glad that things are working out reasonably well there for the oils. It does sound like you've been having some success. And that's really cool. And of course, and as always, thanks for being here. Let me see if I can just get the toes here, maybe. Like that. Back to this green here. And a little bit more there. I'm going to try and get a little bit of the light over here. Like this. Let me throw a bit of my light down here, maybe, yeah. Also over here. Something like this. Also up here. Now also trying to make it look like there's some little chips or dings or whatever out of his armor too. No, that's a little too heavy there. Let's take some of the darker stuff, try to cut down on that a little bit here. There we go. Some more darker green here. Almost sort of dry brushing that on. I'm gonna let's go back to maybe my dark here again. We'll hit this, and then I think we'll come back with some lighter gray, something like this maybe. Little lighter right there. Okay, so post-Kursk, post-Operation Citadel. Yeah, when they didn't even have time to paint the vehicles, right? Before sending them out, and they're just sending them out there with primer. You don't have time to do Zimrit too, right, Sarge? Or like you said, the resources. So Matt, I haven't used the Schminkies. Other folks have mixed results. Some folks do like them. They're not definitely not the least expensive paints out there. That's for sure. Now, some folks, and of course, there's different lines, right? There's what the Norma and the Messina or whatever. And obviously, people definitely use only the artist oil version of it, not the student grade or whatever. But yeah, the Schminky, since we have so many different paints, the Richesons, we're experimenting with those because they really fall more in that Gamlin/Winsor Newton price range. Now, maybe at a certain point we branch out more to try out the Schminkies or something like that. I know there's a few folks out there that have tried them. Again, not sure. That again, there was kind of mixed results as far as people saying, okay, yeah, these are. You're almost better off with the Williamsburg or whatever. I think most folks that have tried both, I think, pretty much lean towards the Williamsburg. Yeah, I think so, Sarge. I think there's a little bit of Bunkus in there, for sure. And try and get more of the gray going up into here, and maybe even over here. Oh yeah, we never really did anything on his chest there. He also has there's that one strap that's here. See if I can get a little bit more of that. Here we go. Might even play with a little bit of the greens there. A little more there, maybe. Also take our blending brush. That we had a crazy little line there. We don't want that line. We want shapes, right? Not lines. So thanks to Armored Wolf for posting a link to the Patreon page. Just did the latest video. Posted that not long before we started doing the stream here. That is, again, that needs a little bit of, there we go. Yeah, there's some weird, crazy edges on that. Yeah, sorry, I mean, it's kind of funny, like the fuel tanks on the outside of the tank, where that kind of just would catch fire out there instead of on the inside. Using some of that green over there, you can see how it's mixing with the sienna type color there. Not too much later on the spear point there. This at the mouth here. Let me see if I can. Okay, there we go. I'm starting to feel that a little bit more. But yeah, this is just missing here. Again, it's not a misprint. It just wasn't sculpted on there, which I find absolutely hilarious. And a bit more there. Oh, some of that green over here too. Partially to blend. And also, there we go. A little bit more of that. Great, because that's going to contrast more with this the color of the fur than any gold is going to. So yeah, Sarge, I have not done too many even mid-war German vehicles. Well, I did paint one Tiger II in Flames of War scale. But Sarge, I've got the Operation Unthinkable stuff. Now that's of course Flames of War scale, but there's Pershings in there. There's the T-26, I think, and then there's the a couple of Mouse. There's at least one or two Tiger II. Of course, there's the IS-3. There's even, I think, a T-54 in there. And I think there's a couple of British Conqueror vehicles. What are we doing up here? Okay, a little bit of the green on the reflected light side here, but I'm going to try and get back to that orange up here like this on the shoulder here. Also over here. A little more on the shield. Yep, there you go. Just throw in some more orange over here. More of our orange up there. And maybe a touch over here. So the scarlet, some of the Indian yellow. Right here. Right up there. So yeah, then this is the, again, I really knew it was that they were, it was the swag at Adepticon. So that was really, and I was getting fortunate enough to get both the, I think one is the American Soviet and the other one is British German. I haven't opened up the boxes yet. Of course, oh, there's the Band of Brothers set from Warlord that also has to gotta start putting that together, and also the the Slanya stuff, also from Warlord. So that is some more stuff that we'll build. I'll be doing some basing videos on that too. Well, we'll definitely be painting more of the Slanya stuff on the stream because, well, tattoos and such. Let me see if I can catch a little more of the light there. Also here.